going for a walk looking at all the different types of trees in my area. My favourite tree is a gum tree, like this one here. And in our lesson today, we're going to learn how to tell the difference between the different types of gum trees by looking at the bark. Some trees have really smooth bark all over, like this one here, and it's nice to give them a big hug. But other trees have rough bark all over, like this one here. Can you see how it's got big, deep cracks? And the bark is really rough to touch. So let's go for a walk and have a look at some different trees. Think about whether these trees have rough bark or smooth bark. This tree only has rough bark at the bottom. We could say the tree is wearing a pair of socks. This tree has got rough bark all the way to where the branches start. It's like it's up to its armpits, like a strapless dress. The next tree has rough bark all over. It's like wearing a onesie or some pajamas. And this tree has only got smooth bark. But it has got some big lumps on it as well. These are made by insects. Now it's your turn to do an activity. You're going to investigate the different types of bark and trees in your area. When you've identified some different types of bark, you can use a crayon and some paper to make a texture rubbing. It's better if you use a crayon that has the paper off it. Make sure you put your crayon on the side, and you're going to put the crayon against the tree and give it a little rub. You can see this nice smooth tree gives me a nice smooth sort of texture. Let's see what happens on this rough tree. A lot more bumps. But if you're not able to get outside, you can investigate some textures of wooden surfaces around your house. I tried rubbing the rough railing on the edge of my veranda. And here I'm using the coffee table. Next we're going to record our tree observations, so you will need some pencils, a workbook and a ruler. Rule your page into 4 squares, or 4 quarters. In each quarter, you're going to record a different tree. Draw a simple tree trunk. I'm going to add some branches, and you might like to add some leaves as well. Rule a line that shows where the bark came to. Then you can think about what piece of clothing matched the bark. In this case, I was thinking about socks. So I'm going to draw a pair of socks. Draw 3 more trees and think about where the bark came to on the tree, and think about what item of clothing it matches to. If you couldn't get outside, you can just use the trees from my video. So hopefully you've learned something about identifying trees and the difference between rough and smooth.